Welcome to our special 40th episode. Good evening, everyone. I want to take a moment to give a shout out to Scott Fish and his crew and all the amazing work he does for our community and beyond. I had the pleasure of being in Boston recently, and let me tell you, the atmosphere was electric. People were buzzing with excitement and already discussing next year's event. I was truly a sight to behold. It was truly a sight to behold. I myself can't wait to attend next year Fishbowl. While in Boston, I had the opportunity to connect with some amazing individuals. One person who has been creating quite a buzz on Twitter recently is Stefania Bell. Congratulations from the heart on winning the Matthew Berry Game Changer Award. It is truly well deserved. On this special 40th episode, we welcome our dear friend and colleague, TootsiePop 6, also known as Rachel. I'm so eager to learn about her incredible journey, especially her journey with Unwind. I want to extend our gratitude to all for you turning in every Wednesday and being part of the conversation. Wendy and I express deep appreciation for the backing of Evan, Iggy, and JC, and to the TSA team who have provided us with this platform to interact with remarkable individuals in our community. Join us as we delve into the lives and narratives of our guests, getting to know their innermost secrets, experiences in fantasy football, and much, much more. The Game Changers is not your ordinary show. It has transformed us into a beloved community, and we are thrilled to share this journey with all of you here tonight. Wendy, anything you want to add?
My goodness, I'm just mesmerized. I have Rachel here. I'm looking at the chat. We've got all of our friends, all of our unwind girls are coming. They're all showing up, Rachel. I'm like so excited. So I do want to touch real quick. Everyone, make sure that you stay on till the end. I know it's a whole hour, you guys. Stick with us. It's worth it. It's always fun. It's a good time. We have a couple changes and some announcements coming up at the end. And I want to elaborate a little bit on the Stefania Bell award that she just received because I mean, come on, at the FSGA, we're talking, the game changer. She's named this award is named after our show. Okay, I think it was the other way around, but you know what? I'm so proud of her because not only is she does not like the word pioneer because she said that makes her feel old. So but what she has done for women such as ourselves, to pave the way for us to be able to be involved with sports is just it's amazing. And not only that, she's just a fantastic person. She is just wonderful. She comes to the Unwind events. This is going to be like an Unwind hype, Rachel, just because of everything that you've done is amazing. So Carla, can you introduce Rachel for us, please?
Definitely. Tootsie Pop, also known as Rachel, is a fantasy football enthusiast and writer for Club Fantasy FFL. She shares insights and advice on various aspects of fantasy football, including player performances and team building strategies. One of her notable contributions is the My Guy series, where they highlights players she believes have the grit and potential to excel in the fantasy football season. The first time I met Rachel was last year at the expo. Initially, I sat with her feeling a bit shy, but we ended up engaging in some great conversations and shared a lot of laughs. The next day, as we walked around the expo, we exchanged smiles, and Rachel asked if we could take a picture together. I was all in. We flexed our muscles for the picture, and that moment marked the beginning of a wonderful friendship. Rachel, your smile truly shines and it makes everyone feel at ease around you. You've created a welcoming space in the community where ladies can come together and share their joys, laughs, and sadness without any judgment. I can't wait to hear all about your journey and what you're hiding in the near future. So, Rachel, welcome to the show. How are you tonight?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, Scampers, he wants us to go more than an hour, so you guys better come up with some stuff.
we always have some stuff under our sleeve, aren't we,
Oh
women?
yeah, you got that right. You got that right. Hey, so
Oh,
Rachel, I
Yes.
am so excited to have you here. We got to meet briefly. Like last year, we did get to hang out a little bit. But I'm like, man, I didn't get a picture with Rachel. But you were the last one before I was like, I got to get a picture with Rachel. So that was
Yeah.
so great. But you know what I really want to start out with is how did you start watching football and loving your Minnesota Vikings? Does your whole family do this? Like, what's up with this? How did you get involved?
So I'm pretty much a late bloomer when it comes to this football world and fantasy football world. I started watching the Minnesota Vikings around the 2017 season. Growing up, like my family isn't wasn't that big into sports. Like my dad and my brother would casually watch the games, but nothing hardcore. But yeah, starting 2017 season, I started paying attention because the Vikings were having a really good year that year, and I would just hear about it at work or out at the grocery store. You'd hear about all this Vikings hype. So I thought, well, I'll just start tuning in and see what it's all about. And I was hooked. The Vikings were magical and it was exciting to watch. I think in the early days, it was Latavius Murray and Jarek McKinnon were on the Vikings, and so I've been a fan of theirs since then. And Adam Thielen was on the team, and Stephon Diggs. It was just really exciting when, especially with winning. It's really exciting when your team is winning. And that's when that started. So I started getting to football then.
Well, and so I guess that's probably the segue into playing fantasy football then, correct?
So that started in the 2019 season. I was overhearing coworkers talk about their work league, and I was like, "What is this fantasy football? And can I play?" So I just kind
Where
of
do I sign
invited
up?
myself.
Where do I
Yes,
sign up?
I knew nothing about it at all, and one person had gave me like a weird look. Are you sure? Is this your thing? I'm like, why not? I can try, right? And
Oh,
so
if
that's
they could
when that
see you
started.
now, girl, if they could see you now. That's so awesome though. So does your what does your family feel about this when you're like, "Hey, do they realize how popular you are and that you're a rock star in this world? Do they know all about this, Rachel?"
Not really. I mean, I've tried to tell them, but they don't really care or don't understand it. So we just keep it separate.
That you know what? That's why you have us. That's what
Yeah,
I always tell everyone. I'm like, my friends are not like me. My family doesn't, nobody watches sports or anything. That's why we have each other.
exactly. Yes.
we're talking about, women in fantasy football, Rachel. How did the women in women's panel at the Fantasy Football Expo influence your perspective on women in fantasy football in all?
Yeah, so I went to the Fantasy Football Expo in 2022 for my first year going there, and I saw the women's panel there, and it was very significant to me to see all these trailblazing women and what they're able to do. They're creating content, they're making their way and doing it on their unique ways. And like Britt Flynn was on it, Lauren Carpenter, Kendall Valenzuela, just few to mention, and they just were so inspiring. It made me feel at that point I was not a creator, but it made me feel like, oh, I can play this fantasy football game. I can learn how to play it because they're doing it and they're teaching me how to do it. And so it made me feel like I could have a seat at the table.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's
for
really
sure.
awesome to know. So, what motivated you to start the Unwind?
Yeah, so last year I went to the expo for my second year, and then after it I was in major withdrawal, missing all my friends, all my new besties like Emma Martinez, and I started thinking, well, how can I continue to connect with them instead of waiting a whole year? And so I had the idea, let's try a Zoom call and just bring all the different women from the space and just connect. I wasn't sure how it would go. The first one is scary. We piloted to see how, and it was really fun the first night. Like, oh, this is something. And so it just kept going throughout the season. It just kept growing from there. And it just kind of evolved into quite the community, even beyond the actual Zoom calls. We have the Twitter chat where we talk about anything and everything. And there's a Discord server. And now we have Unwind merch that I'm
Oh, yes,
wearing.
please show your Unwind merch.
And
I
there's
love it.
hats too.
Oh,
I don't know if it doesn't go for me.
it
Yes.
looks good. It looks good.
Yes. So exciting stuff. We're building and growing.
There's
Oh, there's so
Sniper
much.
Mel
Yeah, so much with that.
saying that you helped her last year. So care to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, she was just asking me a few questions about how to do some best ball leagues. So I was just giving her what I've learned along the way. And, um, I don't consider myself a super expert. I just know that I work hard at it and I pay attention. And so I just shared what I've learned along the way and what others have taught me. And Mel is amazing and she knows
She
what she's
is.
doing. Yes.
She
You're
does. She
amazing too.
pretends
I
she
mean,
doesn't.
I
yeah.
know, right? She's Sniper Mel in the sleeper. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Helping people is amazing too. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, and there's so much more to Zoom, especially like from my side of it, because I look so forward to coming to that. I think I missed one, but I've pretty much been to the other ones, and then even sometimes if I'm just at work and it's usually on a Saturday when you do the Saturday ones, I'm usually by myself, so I'm like on my phone or whatever. I hate missing it, so I really look forward to that. What you've done there and the way it's growing, and to have that safe space for women, it's amazing. Like how many shows have you done altogether now?
We've done 13 so far. So the Saturday will be the 14th one.
Okay, and I'm still going to try and sneak on, Rachel.
Yes, you should. Definitely. Yeah, so Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern is the next Zoom, so you can hit
So
me up.
that's the big announcement because that's
Yes.
kicking off the 2024 season, correct?
Yes, yes. Let's kick it off. Let's start talking about our fantasy football leagues and which players we're in, and let's just get excited.
It is.
That's
It's that
amazing.
time because during the off season, you're just talking about other, your life stuff, which is great. We have a place to still be able to go and talk about that. But now you're getting into, we had the Scott Fish Bowl, we got the Expo coming up. There's so much, but so make sure you guys, if you're not hooked up with Unwind, you need to get in our chat. You need to find Rachel. You need to either reach out to Rachel, Carla, myself. Any of us can get you to Rachel, so you can be in the chat and get the link to the next show on Saturday. So. On the Saturday thing, because you're international, girl, like you've got people from all over the world. So is that one of the reasons that you do the Saturday afternoon so they can attend?
Yes, I started that in February. I tried that out because I knew there were some women over in the UK that I connected with on Twitter, like Hannah Rowland and Georgia and
Love her.
Poppy and
Yep.
Crystal in Italy. And I was like, okay, I don't want to exclude them. I know that they're interested. And so how can I figure out the time zone math? So much fun, the time zone math. But I figured I landed on that time, the 2 p.m. Eastern, that kind of accommodates all the different time zones. So hopefully people can try to make it. Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that they can be included on some of them.
I mean, how amazing is that? And that's the other thing, we have people from all over the world in there. We have superstars. I'm sitting in there one day and Lindsay Rhodes is there, and I'm like, does anyone know that Lindsay Rhodes? Does Lindsay Rhodes know she's here? I was just like, no one is off limits. All the women are like, hey, we want to be involved in this. Stefania Bell, I'm thinking, man, Stefania, blink 3 times if you're being held against your will. But no, she wanted to be there. We all want to be there, Rachel, and that's the beauty of it, is we all want to be there.
Yeah, and that's my intent with it, is that we're all just equal and we're just women that love this fantasy football game and we can be there for each other no matter if we're content creators, if we're a casual player. If you haven't even played fantasy football yet and you just want to talk about football and be there for the women community, that's fine too. It's for
Yes.
any woman that yeah, just wants the safe place, that wants good vibes. It's for anybody.
And we do have women that are in there that don't play fantasy football. They Janelle, I think she's maybe into it a little bit, but man, is she so great about promoting women, and and what happens in Unwind stays in one Unwind. That's the one rule, right?
Yes, exactly. What happens in the chat or what happens in the Zoom, it stays there, and so people can say whatever they want. It's a safe place, and you can be your authentic self.
I love it. That it's just I'm so happy, and look at everybody in the chat. All these women in Unwind that are here in the chat supporting us and supporting you are all, and they're all going to be at the expo. Most of them are going to be there. You guys, you know what? Canton is not going to be the same after the Unwind women get together.
The Unwind invasion is coming.
That's awesome.
Rachel, what inspired you to start writing about fantasy football? Can you talk us through your process for analyzing players and making recommendations?
Yeah, so I started a year ago. I started with like a short series of fantasy football diary, which just I just wrote about my journey playing fantasy football from when I started and the Scott Fish Bowl live last year, just relating my story to the reader. And so I started with that series, and then after the expo last year, I linked up with In Between Media, and I wrote Prize Picks predictions for them for the season, and I've now
Mhm.
expanded to other football writing for them, and I've expanded to entertainment writing. So it's very exciting to be part of IBT. And yeah, it's just continuing to write and to explore different ways to talk about the players, to look at football, to look at fantasy football, and dabble in a little bit of the sports betting because who doesn't like to make money?
Right, right. That's always fun.
What trends are you noticing in fantasy football this year?
Oh, it's just continuing to grow. There's so many nuances and so many different formats. There's the guillotine leagues, there are vampire leagues, there's, different versions of best ball, different versions of the redraft settings. It's just there's all these different quirks in the Scott Fish Bowl. Every year the scoring's different. It just keeps you on your toes. It's really exciting. You have to pay attention to the scoring and the roster settings, and it just really stimulates the mind and just makes you to always be on your toes to be strategic, and it's fun.
Any bold prediction in the upcoming season?
Uh, Hopefully, the Vikings will not fall on their face. That's my hope. Let's see, bold
Oh, yeah.
prediction.
Okay, bold. You should have said Vikings are going to win the Super
I
Bowl. That's
know.
bold.
Oh my gosh. I know. We're at
That's
a
so funny.
we're at a weird
Well,
impasse.
and when you first started with fantasy football, how important was finding the Ball Blast podcast for you?
So yeah, that was during the 2019 season when I started playing fantasy football with my work league. I didn't know anything about it, so I found the fantasy community on Twitter and different content creators there, and I immediately latched onto the Ball Blast podcast when I found Michelle and Kate because I found their content to be relatable. I found I could understand it. For a casual person that didn't know anything, I could understand what they were trying to convey, and they were able to teach me how to do it. And then also I gained confidence to believe that I could do it as a woman in fantasy football. And I even to this day I like to say Kate is my 101 of fantasy analyst. She's absolutely
Oh,
amazing.
that's so cute. Hey, and you guys got to meet recently, didn't you?
Yes, I did a cruise out of Galveston, so they lived near the Houston area. So I met up with them one night, and that was amazing. I know one
How
minute it's,
fun.
it's out for drinks, and I looked at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are real. I literally said that because I've idolized them so much and been so inspired listening to their podcast or reading their Twitter, and like here's the actual people. It was really incredible, and they're truly good friends of mine now.
Well, that's so important because that's how these relationships start, and you were watching them or listening to them or watching them, and and they did give you the confidence to show that you can compete in fantasy football, and that's what that's about. So I love them too. They were on the show and just the nicest ladies you could ever meet and so smart.
Definitely, yes. They are really really good at what they do. So pay
Yes,
attention
they
to what they
are.
have to
Yeah,
say.
no kidding. That's a plug.
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about your personal favorites. Who are your must-have players this season and why?
So I'm really big on Raheem Mostert going into the season with his last year. He was so productive with 21 total touchdowns. People like to say he's old, and is he going to produce the same with the other people in the backfield with Achan and the rookie Jalen Wright? But I Mostert's a monster. He loves the red zone and he vultures all those touchdowns. And I'm gonna grab him when I can. And I got him in the Scott Fish Bowl, so that was a success.
Oh, I love that. I love that
Oh,
pick. I love him. I'm a Dolphins fan, so he's one of my guys, and he just seems so nice.
yes, definitely. So he's a must draft for me. So Raheem Mostert. I always love Jalen Hurts. He's another favorite. I've gotten to love Jared Goff more than I used to with what he's doing with the Lions. Amon Ra is also very likable.
I love Amon
Um,
Ra.
I always love Adam Thielen from the beginning of my football watching days, so I will always draft him at some point in the draft. He's my guy.
You know what? And
Can you share?
he's falling so far down too,
I
and
know.
I mean, I'm gonna take him every time too.
Yeah.
Can you share like a memorable moment or success story from your own like fantasy football experience
Yeah,
from
last
all
year I
five seasons?
yes. Last year I tried Dynasty for the first time. I had two different Dynasty leagues and I won the championship in both of them.
Oh
Of
my God,
course
you
you did.
kidding me?
Of
Let's
course you
go.
did.
That's amazing.
Yes, it was really exciting. Like, how did this happen? But thank you. I did have a good
No.
buddy help me with the draft when I was drafting them because Dynasty, you have to have a different mentality when you're
It's
drafting
so
it.
different. I
And
can't do it, Rachel. I cannot do it. I'm out.
don't
I'm
say
out on
can't, Wendy.
Dynasty.
You can
No,
always.
okay, I
It,
won't do it.
oh, I was like, wait a second. If I can do it, you can do it. But
I
yeah,
tried it. I'm in one. I hate it. I won out. I
ooh,
hate
I
it.
like that. He might come back to Minnesota.
Oh
Take
man.
us.
Would
Yeah,
Man,
that
yeah.
be? Yeah. I like that. I like that. That's a hot take there.
That's awesome. That's a really memorable story. I love it. Twice, like both of them, not just
exactly.
once. That's just amazing. I love it. I love it. What advice would you give someone is starting out fantasy football, Rachel? Especially a woman for the fantasy football.
I would just encourage her to just jump in and do it. And just find the fun in it, find a ways to make it fun for herself. If there's players she likes or teams she likes, latch onto that. I mean, I my first draft, I drafted Thielen. You have to get your guys, and just makes it more fun to root for them on your fantasy football. And surround yourself with people to ask that you can ask questions to. This
I
community is
love that.
wonderful. The unwind community in particular that is very supportive to women playing fantasy football. Don't be afraid to ask your questions because people are there to help. And even the most seasoned people are still learning. You learn every year, you learn every day because football keeps changing. So we're just all evolving as it changes.
Yep, for
That's
sure.
amazing. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So Rachel, did you go to you were you at the Minnesota live draft for Scott Fishbowl?
Yes, both years, this year and last year, I did the live draft there.
So, like last year, I went to the Chicago. I was terrified. But you know what? As soon as you walk in, everything was great. Was that your experience as well?
Yes, so yeah, everyone is great there. I have so many good friends. It was fun to see them again for a second time this year and get my pictures and get my hugs. And everyone says, Rachel. And it's just amazing. And we still need to get more women involved at all these live
I was
drafts.
going to ask. Yeah, I was going to say how many women were in
I
Minnesota.
think 3 were drafting. So we can keep growing. It's great.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. We got
Oh
Unwind
yeah.
and we got all
Oh
these
yeah, for
amazing
sure.
women that
I
are
got to meet Carla Coin Flip out of
yes,
Unwind. She came to the Chicago draft and we got to hang out. She's so cool. You guys are gonna love her when you meet her. She's so nice, just a really great person. So back to the expo. I do want to touch on with you being with IBT, who I love. Everyone over there at IBT. Seth is wonderful. But can you explain? Because I know this year you're going to be involved
You
with
shouldn't
Draft Night
have.
Out.
It's
yes,
amazing.
right. IBT is hosting Draft Night Out for the second year. They hosted last year, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. We have over 100 tickets sold, and there's still tickets available, but they're going fast. So go ahead and get your ticket if you haven't yet, because you probably want the league that you want. They're all named of legendary football players. So check out. If you like Dan Marino, you can be in his league. It's just a lot of fun. There's good food at this Brew Kettle restaurant is where it's held. Good drinks and good food and good vibes. Just a bunch of great people, and the IBT team will be
Nice.
there to hype it up
Yep.
and to just have a lot of fun with you.
I thought they did a great job. I know it was their first time last year. That is a lot of pressure. That is a huge event to put on. I thought they did a great job. Were there some lulls here and there? Yeah, but there are at all of those things, especially the first time. I'm really sad that I can't be there for it. But I do want to stop in. And is it the same place it was last year? Then is that the same bar?
Yeah,
Okay,
through Kettle.
that's
Yep.
nice there.
Be at
It's
noon.
nice. There's a lot of a lot of room there, upstairs, downstairs. I felt like there were people drafting last year, and I never saw them, even though I walked around. You try and go upstairs, downstairs, see everybody when you're done or whatever. I still have people go, "Oh yeah, I was at draft night out." I'm like, "You were?" It's so hard. It's
That's
so hard to try and meet everybody. But with the expo the year before last, when they had the women's panel, you had mentioned that really resonated with you with Britt, and it was in a teeny tiny room, wasn't it?
right. It was. It was a packed full room, and yeah, even standing room, and people were out like in the hallway. It was, yeah, everyone was just keyed in to listen to what these women had to say. It was just very magical and very inspirational. And it was, you had, yeah, you could just feel it. It was very palpable in that room, just how special it was.
And then I believe that Scott Fish, because he is so freaking awesome and accommodating, said, "You know what? This needs to be on the main stage next year." And it was on the main stage. And sadly, I had to leave. I had to leave in the morning because I had somewhere I needed to be on Sunday night, which I have to do again this year. I'm so mad. But it was another packed house. So, and you know what, Rachel? You're going to be on that panel. I'm telling you.
Well, I don't know.
You will be, because what you're doing, with everything, your content, everybody says, "Oh, I just started out as a fan," and that's true, but what you're doing is making such a difference. So I can't wait. So can you tell everybody about what we're doing with Unwind when we're at the expo with our dinner and stuff?
Yeah, so if you're a member of Unwind, so come to Saturday and then you'll be part of Unwind. We're gonna have a dinner that Friday night at 4 p.m. at a restaurant called Tozie's in Canton. And let me know if you want some information on that. It was just gonna be a group of us women having some food, some drinks, and hanging out, and just some more in-person connecting, which is gonna be really exciting. And then we'll be there the whole weekend. Some of us have the Unwind shirts we'll be wearing throughout the weekend, and we'll be at all the parties, and just it's going to be a lot of fun to meet everybody.
People mostly don't bite.
Mostly don't
I
bite.
think
We
he's
might
talking
bite.
about himself. He's talking about himself. We all know scampers.
We might bite. You don't know. So, um, Rachel, I'm still laughing at the bite thing. How do you balance in different types of leagues like Dynasty, IDP, and Best Ball? How do you balance all of this?
Oh, I'm supposed to balance it? I haven't figured out how to balance it. I just go crazy and insane and say yes to more leagues to join much more. And so I just
Yeah.
joined another one that's drafting. I'm like, wait a second, I'm going to have to manage that one too. So I tried to make a little spreadsheet so at least I know which leagues I have. It's just a lot of fun though to have the different formats and to kind of, okay, now my mind's going to think dynasty when I'm looking at this one, or I'm going to think about redraft looking at this one. And then guillotine is a different adrenaline that is unmatched of anything else because you don't know if you're going to get beheaded that week or
Yep, that's
what.
I love that guillotine league. That's a lot of fun. Big shout out to Dave Cruz, because I saw him in the chat earlier, and he's the one that roped me into every single charity event that I'm in. I think came from Dave Cruz, but he got me in on that guillotine, and that it really was my favorite. So, what would you say is your favorite format to play in?
I would lean on the redraft because that's what I
Me
started
too.
with and that I'm most comfortable with. But they're all fun, I guess. I
IDP though, IDP.
I was just gonna say that I started that last year, and I am doing Iggy's tournament again this year. I wasn't sure if I would join again. Like, oh my gosh, I don't understand IDP after last year, but I'm suckered in again because I want to
There
get
was
it.
someone, there was someone in the chat saying that they played with you in the IDP in the FF7 last year. I'm in that
Yes.
too. I don't know what I'm drafting. I'm just looking, going, okay, I need a defensive lineman. I need an offensive lineman. I guess I got to have two, right? I mean, for a bye week. I don't know how to do. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know either, but I'm learning. I'm asking my different mentors in the community that do IDP, and they're so great. There's a lot of great people that will help you with any question. It's just, I think it's incredible to learn more about the defense side. We always look at the offense a lot in fantasy, so can't ignore that defense is really important as well. So thank you, Iggy, for his tournament and for encouraging me to
Yeah.
start it, try it last year.
Is that the only one that you play with IDP?
Yes,
Yeah,
so far.
me too. I know. I just I don't get it. I know Foxworthy in here. She said she said IDP is hard.
So, Rachel, coming to the expo in a couple weeks, can you share a story that really stuck to you through the 2 years that you went to the expo?
Oh, a memorable moment from the expo. So definitely the women's panel the first year. Last year I had some really good exchanges and I met you, Carla. That was very memorable. One of my favorite picture moments, and just your smile just radiates. And like, yeah, I just like saw you across the room and I just like beamed toward you. I don't know. It's just something about you just made me like, I need
Oh,
to know this woman and meet her.
me
And
too.
I don't know if that was creepy, but I did it anyway. I'm like, hi, I'm Rachel. I had some good conversations with Pat Fitzmaurice last year. Marcus Grant was amazing last year, and then a really good conversation with Joe Bryant of Football Guys that was very memorable. The some wisdom he shared, and just it was a really good conversation that resonated with me. So there's just a lot of moments you can take in at the expo with all the different people you'll meet and talk with, and just soak it all in because it's just it's life changing. Actually, it's you can bring
I
what you
agree.
learn there and translate into other areas of your life, the different advice or just different uh, I don't know, just different relationships. It's just everything just transcends, and it's just a great time.
And as a woman in the industry, did you have any like any sort of stories that makes you want to go back and close that door on fantasy football, or you just said no, I'm not gonna close that door and you move forward?
Yeah, there's occasional trolls on Twitter that you'll come across that don't respect women in the space. I was in drafting in a league last year and I got bullied by a male league mate, and I ended up leaving that league because I don't stay where it's not a pleasant experience. But it didn't make me want to quit fantasy. It just like, okay, this league isn't for me. I'm going to move on and stick to the leagues that I feel the good vibes. We just can't give them much attention, the trolls and the ones that don't believe in us. It's like just because there's so many that are supportive of women in the space and supportive of me. And so if you just focus and be grateful on what you do have, it's you just really everything is just multiplies. You can just see all your blessings multiply if you focus that way.
I agree
Oh,
100%.
you're so positive. That's what we love about you. You just have this positive message, and you just radiate. So, and I have to tell you, you were the reason that Marcus Grant came over, because you and I were sitting down. We were at the DoubleTree. We were all soaking wet
Oh yeah.
because it rained on Friday night. And here comes Marcus Grant. And you're like, oh, hey, Marcus. And he starts talking. And I'm sitting there going, holy shit, it's Marcus Grant. I was like, and he's so nice. Like, he's just, no one is off limits there. I don't care who you are. Andy Behrens. I mean, you can go up to anybody. Jeff Mans, Howard Bender, all of the people that, that's who I listened to, on Sirius XM when I first started listening was,
True, James.
all these people, and you go up to them. And of course, my bestie, but, that goes
Yeah,
without saying
Bob
because,
Harris is incredible. I mean, we know he's your bestie, but he is just a legend in this fantasy space with what he's able to do with his work and just how he leads by example. You see
Yes,
him like, I want to be like that someday. I want to have the knowledge, but relate it and be so engaging in the way that he does it. It's just very inspiring.
why do you think I picked him as my bestie?
You picked a really good bestie.
Rachel, what's the silliest reason you ever gotten yourself in trouble in?
Uh-oh.
You just
The
like,
secret's coming out.
you think I got in trouble? What?
I don't think I'm asking. You got yourself in trouble right now asking that question back, Missy.
I was not expecting that question. What, Carla? You
I
were
know.
something. I mean, okay, back like in my college years or whatever, I did get pulled over once, but you know what? Why? 'Cause I swerved because a pickle fell out of my burger, and I was like, I gotta get the pickle, and I love, I know Scott Fish hates pickles, but I'm all about the
Oh,
pickle. Like I can't drop a pickle, and so I got pulled over because I
and
swerved to try
well,
and eat
because
it.
you
But
went over the double yellow line because of the pickle.
I did. So how's that?
I asked my burger without pickles, just
and,
saying, because I
and
don't
then
like pickles here.
so I did tell the cop exactly that. He started like laughing.
He could not possibly have given you a he did
I
not give you a
No,
ticket,
just
did he?
just be more careful kind of warning or
Okay.
whatever. But there's
I'm
no
glad to
cars on
hear
the road,
that.
so I wouldn't have gone for the pickle if there are cars on the road, obviously.
That's
Oh,
Carla,
so
what the
funny.
heck story did you get out of me? What?
She does it every time, Rachel. And she doesn't tell you ahead of time because if she does, you're going to be prepared. You're going to have this all a butterfly, glitter, and unicorn story, and you would not have
I
told the
love
pickle
you,
story
Rachel.
if you knew ahead of time.
But okay, that's the tamest answer you'll probably ever get from somebody because I don't get in trouble. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, the most noble reason to ever get pulled over. That's because she's a queen. That's because Rachel's a queen.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can't lose a
I love
pickle.
it.
Can't lose the pickle.
You're never going to hear the end of that. There's going to be pickle jokes for days in Unwind.
Well, as
We're
long you
bringing
can bring me
we're bringing
pickle
pickles
anytime.
to the expo. Sorry, Rachel. Okay, that's the best answer ever.
She's
I love
sneaky.
it.
You
What's
see a
a pickle?
pickle once.
Oh gosh.
Oh, and
Oh
Can't
my
lose the
God.
pickle.
Can't lose the
Exactly. That's the hashtag.
hashtag.
Start it
I'm
now. You
sorry.
need to start the hashtags.
And Sniper Mel's driving around in her car back and forth to Green Bay eating pickles.
That's because she's awesome.
I know this is
Oh
true.
my
She knows
This
what's
is
up.
true. Oh man. Whew, that was a good one. I needed that laugh. Thank you.
We all do.
Carla. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna see you in a
I
couple
love
weeks and I'm going to, I don't know, hug you.
Yep,
Definitely
you
hungry.
will. You will forget about the pickle incident when you are in Canton.
Oh
Are you
gosh.
staying at Doubletree?
I am staying at the DoubleTree. I've stayed there the last couple of years and it's my place to be. It's just
You know
where
what? Mistakes were made last year. In my mind, I was thinking. I listened to someone.
Oh gosh, you guys.
In my mind, I was thinking, oh, I need to be close to the Hall of Fame so I can get back and forth because my daughter was going to have the car. I did not need to be close to the Hall of Fame. I needed
It's
to
all
be
close.
staying. I needed to be staying at the DoubleTree because that's where you need to be. So I'm staying there as well. You're getting there on Thursday, though, right?
Yes, Thursday night. Yeah.
And are you staying till Monday?
I am, yes, until Monday.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I'm gonna miss the karaoke.
I
I'm
need
gonna miss.
I missed it the last 2 years karaoke because I am old and a wuss and I need to get to bed for the flight the next day. But nobody let me miss karaoke this year, okay? Challenged everybody. Make sure I get to karaoke and stay awake.
You
I
heard it
gotta
here, folks. Everyone's listening, and all these people that are in the chat are going to be there. So you have to. Are you going to karaoke? Are you going to sing?
maybe in a group. Maybe
Okay.
some unwind women. Any unwind women want to
Maybe
do a
that would
group?
be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Man, I want video because I can't be there on Sunday night. And you know what? It's so hard. Even if I weren't having to come back, my work schedule, it's really hard for me to get off on Monday. And I just have FOMO so bad. You guys are going to have so much fun. Okay, I'm going to pout now. Hang on. Go ahead.
Adulting is hard, Wendy. Adulting is hard.
Yeah, I agree. What trends do you predict will impact the industry in the upcoming future?
Fantasy football industry?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Well, you're definitely going to see more women just doing their thing and champion the way. Um, they're trying, I don't know, just like there's going to be more formats. I'm sure going to be created. Because there's going to be more spin-offs and different quirks to different leagues. It's just going to keep growing that way. I don't really know, Carla.
I don't know. You know what? I always
amazing, Lexi and
Yeah, but you
women.
know what? I think what I like to bring up though is AI. I just feel like AI is going to affect sports betting.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just feel it's going to affect a lot. It's almost kind of scary because you don't know enough about it. I mean, you got to go talk to Ronnie. If anybody wants to know anything, oh hey, Hema's here. Hema's here.
Emma's my
She came to
bestie.
see. She came to see her bestie.
Yes,
Yeah.
Emma. I get to see Emma in a couple weeks. Yay!
I mean, AI is important, but I don't believe it can like think like human being as well. As I don't know. It's still it needs a lot. I think, in my opinion, still it
Hey, you
needs a
got a
lot.
backup dancer. You
Oh,
got
and
a
we got a
backup
dancer.
dancer.
She's volunteering to dance. That's awesome.
Oh, I want backup dancers for Zumba. So here you go. Sign up for Zumba as well. We have 2 days, Friday and Saturday. We have 2 days. You're gonna do at least one of these days, Rachel, right?
Saturday at what time was Saturdays?
So Saturday at 3 o'clock, and Friday I know you cannot move the time at 4 o'clock. So it
Yeah.
collides with the unwind, which sucks because I want to be there too. But these are
I know
the
there's so
times
much.
that
I know it's
There's so
so
much in
yeah,
hard.
Expo. Yeah, Expo weekend is
yeah,
packed, and there's so
I
little time.
know.
Yeah.
So
I
little
know we keep
time,
telling.
and
We need to tell Bob. You know what? It just needs to be a
yeah,
whole week, and we'll
It
just
does.
all take a
I know,
vacation that
right?
week, and this way we can
Yeah,
do
it's a
everything.
whole week.
Exactly. Yes.
You can have the Kings Classic on one day and the Queens on another day. Nothing overlaps. In a perfect world, because you miss so much. You don't meet everyone. You don't get to go to all of the events. But man, what you do get to go to is so memorable. And I can't wait. It's coming up so soon.
I
I
know
know.
it's gonna be
It's
really
my
nice.
it's my goal to meet Andy Behrens because I was scared to go up to him
Oh,
last
yeah.
year, so I've not
Yes,
No,
talked to him
he's
yet.
awesome. He's awesome. You'll love him.
So that's my goal for this year.
yeah, I can't. It's really nice. How has social media impacted your mental health? Sometimes, Rachel.
Oh wow. It can Twitter is both amazing and can be a curse at the same time. It's amazing with all the people that you meet and all the support you can get, but there's also the trolls, or there's just some toxicity, there's some negative, there's just, some negative tweets or negative people, that just are lashing out on your feed or whatever. So it can affect your mental health, and
Yeah,
especially like the trolls when they're saying something negative about women. It's like, it's not true, but you still hear it, words still hurt. um so it's good to balance, to just like, okay, so I'm going to turn off my phone, I need to go outside and take a walk, and just kind of have that balance in life. I'm still working on having the balance, but that's a goal of mine, is to keep improving that. And I think we all keep trying to improve balance, work life balance, and then trying to balance the social media, because it is so great. It's how I met all of you, and how
Yep.
Unwind is growing, so I can't ignore it entirely. But yeah, so just keeping it in check, and just keeping your whole life balance, and knowing that, um, even though we love fantasy football, it's not everything either. So you want to make sure you have
Right.
your family time, you have friends that you see in person, and you have your day jobs or what have you, or other hobbies you might have, and or your time with your cat. Like, I need to spend time with my cat. It's just important to have balance of everything in life, because then it makes you enjoy all the different
Yep.
areas even more so.
I mean,
I know
I'd
that your
say it's
cat
a
got you a scratch. Where is it?
Yeah, it's here. It's not that big, but it's like, okay, I need to put a little ointment on it, because yeah, he stepped on my face this morning right before work, and so like it bled a little bit. I'm like, I didn't want it to get infected. I'm like, okay, put some.
My students will put like stars. It's the new hip thing. So you can put stars all
yeah.
over your face. You're fine, Rachel.
Oh, Bob's
Well,
here.
And there are times, Rachel, will you will say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be off the grid. I'm not available, and everyone respects that. And when you come back, we're just also happy to see you. And you do have to do that sometimes. So thank you for, talking about that. I know that, I have some moments too, it's like, it's just part of it. I would probably say I've had people like come at me. Somebody told me, you guys listen to this. I've told this story before, but I don't know if you were here, Rachel. I had a guy tell me that I shouldn't smile as big because I have wrinkles in my forehead.
What?
Like, what?
Yes.
I'm like, well, first of all, I'm 58 years old and I've earned every one of these son of a bitches,
And
okay?
you're beautiful.
And why
And
would you
keep
dim your
smiling.
smile? Why
I
would
was,
anyone want to dim their smile? That is
Right?
so
I was
ludicrous.
just, I know, slander. It was terrible. My bestie knows. He knows, you guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say most of and there's trolls that are female and there are trolls that are male. I mean,
I agree.
you get both sides. But I would say that it's probably maybe 90% great people and maybe 10% that are trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Because they don't
that's
have a
right,
life.
Josh.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
You
why.
know.
What are your goals for the upcoming fantasy football season, Rachel?
To win every single league, Carl.
Yeah,
Including
it
it's definitely a big goal, but also just to
is a goal.
continuing to learn how to play
Yeah.
fantasy football, keep getting better at IDP, keep getting better at Dynasty and the Guillotine. I want to make it all the way in Guillotine. I made it like to top 4 or something last year. I need to go further this year, so that's my goal on that, and then just continuing to grow with my content creation. There's so much more that I haven't dived into yet that I want to, and it's just a great support system at IBT Media where they're supportive of me trying different things, of being creative, and um, yeah, it's really exciting. This next year will be
Just
exciting.
dominate.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Hey, and
amazing.
you even did the world domination draft that we have that had international women. We had women from everywhere. That's one of my things. I'm like, I love that. I
Oh, right.
am so excited. Yeah, Roxy's here. You know what? I'm pretty sure I was top 2, and then I didn't win, but in my division or whatever. But I can't wait. And I keep saying I'm not gonna not gonna be in any more leagues. I'm not gonna be in any more leagues. I'm going to be in more leagues. We all know this. It's just the
Yeah.
way it goes. So.
Yeah. I know. I just joined one with Chuck Bass. I can't say no to. I call him my draft bestie. So anytime there's a draft or
You can,
whatever,
if Chuck
can't say
Bass
no.
asks you to be in a draft, you're going to say yes every time, aren't you?
Exactly. And I got to pick on him for loving Derek Carr. That's a little inside joke.
Who do you think is the greatest athletes of all time in football, practically? Especially that we're talking about fantasy football
The
tonight.
greatest of all time.
Or
Well, I'm
even
gonna
your
go Adam.
favorite.
Adam Thielen is always gonna be
You
the
love
greatest to me.
him. You
I
love
do.
him that
I do.
much.
I do. I think he's
Oh man, he
amazing.
needs to know this. We need to get on social media and we need to let Adam Thielen know that Rachel adores him because that's
I
very
do.
important. He would love that.
Yes, he's a Minnesota boy, and I follow him and his wife on the social media, and it's just fun to see their kids are growing up, and it's just and they are very based with their faith, and so that's really inspiring to me. They're not afraid to talk about their faith and the importance of
Nice.
God in their lives and their family, and so that's inspiring to me. And so even off the field, what a player does off the field is what makes him great to me. I mean, Cam Hayward is another
Absolutely.
one that is a
Yes,
great
love him.
example of great charity, and the Kelseys are doing great things. Yeah,
Yes.
there's just so many great players.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, Rachel, we are so glad that you came tonight. I know you got to get on out of here. We're going to stay on for a few more minutes, you guys, so don't hop off yet. But Rachel, can you please, just in case people don't know where to find you, can you let them know where to find you, ma'am?
Yes, over on Twitter and Instagram, if you're there, I'm TootsiePop6. You can also find my writing content over at IBT Media. I write both football and betting and entertainment content there. And then Unwind, we have Unwind FF is a Twitter handle for our community of women. And So just check out that and reach out to me if you want to come to Unwind on Saturday at 2
Yes.
p.m. Eastern, and I can hook you up to the Zoom link. And it's guaranteed fun. It's going to be a great group of women, and we're just going to have a lot of good conversation. So join us.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. I
Rachel.
love
We
you,
love you.
Rachel.
Love you. Thank you for having me. This was an honor.
All right. You guys all go follow Rachel.
Hi.
All right, JC. We are ready. JC? There he is. Hi.
Hi, Jason.
Hey, hey, so listen, everybody. We have some news. Okay, we have some news. So Carla had mentioned about the show and some upcoming changes. So I'm here to fill you in. So I'm going to be expanding my horizons a little. I enjoy learning new things, and I have the opportunity to try some of these new things. The problem with that is the commitment of a weekly show at this time is just not possible for me. I can't do it all. And it's not fair to Carla, it's not fair to TSA, and it's not fair to our guests if I can't give 100%. So tonight will be my last episode of the Game Changers. Last week was the startup of Battle of the Sexes, along with many other leagues starting. You know what? I was losing my goddamn mind, to be honest with you. It was a terrible, terrible week. I was timing out in drafts, which I never do. I could not keep up. I have to give a little shout out for real to Sam Weiss, Buy and Sell You. He saw I was struggling. He reached out. He calmed me down. He texted me whenever it was my turn in these leagues that we're in together. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. And I also have to thank Sniper Mel. Sniper Mel, she knew I was having a day. She also reached out. So I love you, Mel. Thank you so much for that. I want to thank TSA for the opportunity that they gifted me with this platform. JC has been the best friend ever. All the TSA members are freaking awesome. I'm not going anywhere. I don't want anyone to think I'm like leaving TSA. I'm not going anywhere. I just want to do a few more things. I'm learning some things, and you guys are like family. So I just won't be doing the weekly show. I'll be here to support everyone in the exact same way that I do now. As long as y'all still want me here. But yes. Greg Kellogg paired me together with Miss Carla here. And that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. She's my sister for life. When things happen to me, good or bad, she's one of the first people that I reach out to. She's been there through it all this past year with me, from my breast cancer scare to whatever problems I was having. So I'm so proud of her growth here, and in her real life growth, even more so. You're a fucking rock star. I don't know how you do it. I will 100% be here to support you, my sister. So Carla, let's get past the mushy stuff now, because I'm not a crier, you guys. I'm not a crier, God damn it. So why don't you let everybody know what's going to be going on, because the future of the show is in your hands, which are the greatest hands that they could be in. So tell us the plans for the show.
Thank you so much, Wendy. I mean, this has been really an amazing show with you, and you know it. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for 40 wonderful episodes alongside with my co-host, Wendy. I've truly enjoyed this journey with you, and I wish you all the best in your future goals. I'm confident we will hear amazing things about you. Good luck, sis. I will miss you on the show, but I'm sure we will keep in touch. So don't forget about
Oh, are you
it.
kidding
Can't wait
me?
to see you at the expo and give
Yep.
you the biggest hug ever again. We are welcoming, on another note, excited to welcome Miss Hope Myers, known as High Hope 77, to the TSA family as my new co-host for the Game Changers. Next Wednesday, she will join me along with Bob Long as we hype everyone up for the expo. Get ready for an exciting new episode. Wishing everyone a pleasant evening and enduring good health. We eagerly expect your presence next Wednesday. Have a great night, you guys. Thank you so much
Hey.
for being here.
Yep. Thank you,
And
guys. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you for supporting us this whole time. You guys are here every single fucking week, and we love you for that. Thank you.
yeah,
I just want to say, you know, it was really, really cool to see you both grow. I mean, you know, I didn't get to meet you yet, Carla, but Wendy, when we got to meet, you know, for the first time, getting to see you, you know, come onto the show. You know, this is 40 episodes. This is a, you know, long haul. Y'all been doing this for a long time, and to see you now sprout your wings and go off, and you know, it's heartwarming to see. I really appreciate everything you've done on this show, and you know, I love you and I appreciate you. So, you know,
and I love you too.
have fun
Nothing,
and
like I said, nothing's changing.
spread your
You know,
wings
I'm
and
still
fly,
here.
my young birdie.
so proud
But
of
yeah,
love you
the
guys.
Game Changers is still going on. I mean,
Yep.
we love
Hell
Wendy.
yeah, it is.
She's gonna keep crushing it, and she's gonna keep pushing forward and doing big, big, big things. And we love to see it. And she's still here, part of TSA. But stoked to have Hope come on. New things coming. You know, still same show, just another
Yeah.
different host. You know.
Tune in, guys. Next week.
All right.
We'll see you.
Love you
All right.
guys.
See everybody
Bye.
later. I'm gonna be doing some drafters if anybody wants to pop on with us later. But we are out of here.
Heck yeah.
Love you both. You're the best.
Love you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.